Hey, and welcome to another episode of Late Night Tape 3. Um, we're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to be talking about the recent Emmy Awards that were just announced last week. And boy, we've got a lot to talk about here, regardless.
Yep.
But with that being said, I've got some great panelists here. I've got Stephen. Stephen, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going well. Yeah, the Emmy, the Emmys are actually on my birthday this year, so hopefully they'll give me a nice birthday gift by making the people and shows that I like win.
And also here we've got Chris Dares. Chris, how's it going?
Going good. My first time being on here and love the Emmy. These are surprisingly a lot of good nominations that you're ever surprised that got nominated. Even end up comic book thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, one thing you're going to see definitely with these nominations is it's the year of the streaming services, because I've just been every category like it's mostly streaming service TV shows, which is great because I mean, let's face it, with the pandemic and that, a lot of the TV shows couldn't be filmed, and there's a bunch of reality shows, but streaming services was where a lot of shows were thriving as well. So, but with that being said, like normally we do talk about movie news, but there really wasn't a lot to cover this week because it was just really minor casting things that would only take 5 seconds to talk about, really, because casting is great to talk about, but it's also one of those that, like, well, believe it, see what happens when it actually comes out. But so we're going to go straight into it. I've got this. So the first category we're going to talk about is the comedy TV shows. So nominated, we've got Blackish, Cobra Kai, Emily in Paris, Hacks, Pen 15, which I realized the first time I saw it, I thought it said penis, but I'm pretty sure they knew what they did when they titled it like that. Ted Lasso, Flight Attendant, and the Kaminsky Method. Stephen, what do you think about these nominations, and what is your pick to win?
I mean, I don't really have much to say in terms of my opinions on them because I don't really watch comedies that much. As far as my pick to win, well, I mean, I would probably say the favorite from all the pundits that I've been hearing seem to think that Ted Lasso is probably the one to win. Maybe Hacks as well. People seem to like Hacks a lot as well.
But Chris, what are your thoughts about these nominations for comedy series, and what would be your pick to win?
So I like the nomination. I love Black. I really like Cobra Kai. Hack is becoming one of my favorite comedies the past couple of years on TV. Ever since Ted Lasso, I like Timothy Jackson from my thing, and the other one I have not seen. But I mean, it could go between Ted Lasso. I'm really rooting for Hack. I think Hack's one of the most surprising shows to come out. That really took me by surprise. I've been watching it with my mom, and I think it's funny. And I'm rooting for Jean. I think James Martin, her name, to win for best actress in the comedy show. Really hard.
Yeah, I mean, a few of these like a lot of these shows I've personally not heard of, but I think some of them are HBO Max, like on various streaming services that are only in the States. So, half of me, like I hadn't heard about Hacks until the Emmys. But I mean, for me, I tried to enter the Ted Lasso. I thought it was fine. But I've heard that the Flight Attendant is apparently really good. So, I mean, the one that surprised I didn't think of as a comedy just because I haven't seen it, but I do plan on getting into it at some stage. Is Cobra Kai. I always thought that was just a drama. I didn't think of it as a comedy, but for me, I'll probably go like I think Ted Lasso is probably the favorite here. But yeah. The next category we've got is lead actor in a comedy series. as it loads. So we've got Anthony Anderson from Blackish, Keenan Thompson from Keenan, William H. Macy from Shameless, Jason Sudeikis from Ted Lasso, and Michael Douglas from The Kaminsky Method. Chris, I'll go to you first. Who's your pick to win this? Is there anyone that you think should have been in here that wasn't?
I mean, this is a good category. I'm a little prepared by Anthony Anderson. I think Keenan Thompson. I think Keenan is good, but what just showed that average. I love Anthony Anderson Blackett. Like any other year, he would win. At least for Jason Sudeikis. Everything, lot of Ted Lasso, but the stuff I think I really am impressed by what I've seen of him. And I think he is very funny. Whenever I watch him, my dad watching it, so I think over Jason Sudeikis. Everything a lot of comedy this year to say anybody was snubbed. It's actually a pretty fun category. Besides Keenan Thompson was on nomination, got like the Emily and Paris for the other one was.
Yeah, so for me, I've got no problems with any of these nominations because Keenan is great. I've seen various clips of Blackish, so and I like Anthony Anderson as an actor anyway. And Michael Douglas is great in The Kaminsky Method. I personally want Keenan Thompson to win because I think he was really great in Keenan, but I've got a feeling that Ted Lasso might end up winning. But for me, one person that I think should have been here that wasn't is Thomas Middleditch from the TV show Be Positive. That Be Positive was a surprisingly good show, and Thomas Middleditch was really great in it. And that's what I really wish got more nominations.
Question: did Emmy get nominated last year for Best Actor in Comedy? That one was nominated this year.
Who was that?
The guy for Emmy. Was that last year's season 2 for Emmy nomination?
I will look that up. But Stephen, what are your thoughts about the lead actor nominations and who would be your pick to win?
Well, I mean, Jason Sudeikis is probably the front runner to win, but I think this was the Kaminsky Method's last season, right?
Yes.
So I wouldn't actually be all that surprised if they ended up giving it to Douglas for that reason.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a good way to think about it. Yeah, Rami Youssef was nominated last year for lead actor.
Oh wait, if that was the case last year, I would say he was not, but there were no seasons this year so far.
Yeah, yeah. So from what I looked this up, and it's definitely going to get into it down the line because there was some nominations later, which I think is weird. Because I thought they should have been nominated last year, but we'll get into that. The eligibility for the Emmys is anything released between June the 1st, 2020, and May 31st, 2021. So that's kind of the framework they're looking at for the eligibility, which is why some things get in, which I don't know why they got in. But next up, we've got lead actress in a comedy series. We've got Tracy Ellis Ross from Blackish, Jean Smart from Hacks, Alison Janney from Mum, Adie Bryant from Shrill, Kaylee Cuoco from The Flight Attendant. So I'm going to start off here. I'm not familiar with most of these shows because I mean I've heard of Blackish. Once again, I've seen clips, and Tracy Ellis Ross is great. And I mean this is one that, just like what we said about Michael Douglas last category, my pick to win this, as much as I've heard so much about Jean Smart from Hacks, I do think that Alison Janney might win this one because this is Mum's final season, and from what Alison Janney did this season to actually be in the lead, in the spotlight, now that Anna Faris wasn't in the series, I think she did phenomenal in the last season of Mum, and I'm glad she got recognised. Stephen, what are your thoughts on these nominations, and who would be your pick to win?
Well, Hack's got a lot of nominations, and also this Jean Smart, I believe, got 2 nominations because she's also nominated for Mayor of Easttown. But I don't think she's going to win that category, so I think they're going to want to give it to her for this category.
Chris, what are your thoughts on the nominations for lead actress, and who would you be your pick to win?
Yeah, the no snub here. Everything Black and Hack, and I everything the other one, but Jean Smart is the biggest surprise coming out of Hack. I only know her as Monster Logan from 24. I found a little bit knowing there, but she does an amazing job in this, and she plays off the other actress so well. Like her comedy, she brings great emotion. Really a surprising performance for her. That you hate her at times, but you love her at the same time. The writing helps her, but her acting, the way she brought emotion, like this is one of my favorite performance for comedy in recent years for a TV show.
Alright, next up we've got supporting actor in a comedy series, and this is one that I really don't know on how they do the nominations because there's a whole bunch of people nominated. We've got Carl Clemens Hopkins from Hacks, Kenan Thompson pops up again for Saturday Night Live, Bowen Yang from Saturday Night Live is also here, Brendan Hunt from Ted Lasso, Nick Mohammed from Ted Lasso, Jeremy Swift from Ted Lasso, Brett Goldstein from Ted Lasso, and Paul Wise on the Kaminsky Method. Something is not Ted Lasso. But Stephen, first of all, are you surprised at the amount of love Ted Lasso's getting, and who would be your pick to win supporting actor?
I mean, this isn't the only category that's like this because in the drama section, they have a lot of nominations for Handmaid's Tale actors. I always thought that was kind of ridiculous. But yeah, people love Ted Lasso.
But who would be your pick to win?
Oh dear, I really have no idea. I've also never really liked. Saturday Night Live, for whatever reason, is in a different category than comedy series. But they always lump the actors on comedy series, and I've never understood why they do that. I think I'm going to go with Kenan Thompson since he was nominated for Best Actor, and I don't think he's going to win in that category, but he could win here, I suppose.
Yeah, and I was actually about to say that this is one that, well, yeah, it does surprise me, but it's one of those ones, they don't actually have an award for Best Acting in a Variety Show. So, and I think it's one of those ones, I think it's a case of, because it's an ensemble show anyway, so I think for all want of a better word, Saturday Night Live is still a comedy. It's still under comedy, regardless of a variety show or anything. So I think the actors being lumped in with the comedy section as supporting is fine, just because there is no true lead did anything, and it's not like they're doing an acting award for a variety show because we go to once again later on. There's going to be other variety shows that are going to pop up as well. But anyway, Chris, what are your thoughts on this category and who would you pick to win?
I mean, I need to watch it last year with the nomination, but I kind of wish they had nominated 2 people for Hack, like her agent and the one that playing on and off again, love her from I think either Billy Madison or Happy Gilmore, he was the villain, one of them. He really good, but Coleman Hopkins is really good in Hack. A really funny scene of him just dancing with the sprinkler on it. When you watch it, it's one of the more funny, and he does a great job playing kind of the straight man a lot of time, but he has very funny moments in the show. But yeah, I mean, I personally would go with Coleman Hopkins. I think he have a role that not big, but he still have a moment he have. And a lot of his dry humor works very well. But yeah, I do go with the one that should get more love by Hack. There are a bunch of other nominated actors on that show, but I also put in as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and like for me, I'm going to sort of go with what Stephen said. I think because especially if the rumors that that this might be Kenan Thompson's last series in Saturday Night Live, then I think he's either going to win here or be lead actor. Because I mean, let's face it, like while everyone's going to assume Jason Statham is going to win, I think there's always like you can't just go and go, oh, he's definitely going to win because there's always that chance for an upset. And I mean, it's the first show season of Keenan, which surprised me as well.
Christopher McDonald was the actor I was thinking of from Hack.
Yeah. All right. Next category we have is supporting actress in a comedy series, and we have Hannah Einbinder from Hacks, Aidy Bryant from Saturday Night Live, Kate McKinnon from Saturday Night Live, Cecily Strong from Saturday Night Live, Juno Temple from Ted Lasso, Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso, and Rosie Perez from The Flight Attendant. Chris, what are your thoughts on the nominations for supporting actress, and who would be your pick to win?
This is a strange category in a lot of Saturday Night Live people, but I mean, Hannah Washington is very funny on Ted Lasso for the stuff I came in on. I think I really for Hannah. How do you think her last name? Insabir?
Waddingham.
No, had the girl from Hack.
Oh, it's Hannah Einbinder.
Einbinder. She is like to play opposite Jean Mott, and she does a great job. Like, thank you for calling. Like, they both bring a lot of laughter in her. She has probably the strongest like emotional journey on the show as a character, and she brings it like in humor. Her back and forth with Jean Mott is very funny. And you have to watch the show because the insults are very funny, and she does a great job doing that. So I really for Hack a lot for the Emmy nomination. I mean, and not I go with Hannah. However you say her last name for Ted Lasso would be my second pick.
Yeah, this is one of those ones that once again, because I think Kate McKinnon might have already got an Emmy once before for Saturday Night Live, so I've got a feeling she might not win here because she would be my pick otherwise. But just because of the love Ted Lasso and Hacks are getting, I'm hoping for one of them to win. But once again, just like what I said earlier of Keenan, it's a possibility with Aidy Bryant that this could happen before her as well, because with her being in two different categories, then it's kind of opened up the possibility for her a little bit. But Stephen, what are your thoughts on supporting actress?
Yeah, I don't know at all. Because I haven't watched Ted Lasso or Hacks at all. So I'll go with the same line of thinking that I went with Kenan Thompson and go with Aidy Bryant, since she was nominated for actress, and I don't think she's going to win that one. So they'll give it to her for this.
Yeah. Next up, we've got guest actor in a comedy series, which is an interesting category in its own. But we'll get into that more when we hit drama. But
yeah, don't want to talk about the guest actor in drama.
But yeah, guest actor in a comedy series is basically Saturday Night Live. We've got Alec Baldwin, Dave Chappelle, Daniel Kaluuya, and Dan Levy from Saturday Night Live, and then we got Morgan Freeman from the Kaminsky Method. I'm gonna go
Does
for
Morgan
this.
Freeman play himself?
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen the latest season of Kaminsky.
He in the first episode of the new season, he playing with saw the scene with him and Michael Douglas playing off each other.
But yeah, I mean, this is the one that boggles my mind about Saturday Night Live people popping up, because I mean it's one of those ones that most of these, I assume, also hosted an episode this season, with the exception of maybe Baldwin, because he probably played Trump somewhere. And I actually agree with Brian here. I've actually watched this episode, and Jim Carrey was great as Joe Biden.
I thought I heard mixed reception about Carrie's Biden.
But yeah, I mean, I'm going to go with Baldwin here because I think Baldwin might have won this category many other times for playing Donald Trump Saturday Night Live, but I just don't know the other ones from Saturday Night Live personally. But Stephen, what are your thoughts on guest actor in a comedy series?
This is just a complete guess. I haven't seen yet. I'm a member of Cold Derby, so but I haven't been to the website in a while, so I don't know who they're saying. But I'm just going to completely guess that all of the Saturday Night Live actors are going to cancel each other out, and it'll be Morgan Freeman.
That's actually a fair thing to think about too. But Chris, what are your thoughts on guest actor in a comedy series?
I am shocked Jim Carrey wasn't nominated because his Joe Biden is very funny. I get a joke with Morgan Freeman. Well, I like seeing the scene with Morgan Freeman. It's very funny scene in these matches. And I won't spoil it, but it's great improv scene. I won't spoil the whole scene, but it made you laugh hard, like the back and forth between my Douglas. And not Alec Baldwin at Trump. Jim Carrey should have been nominated. It shocked me that one of the biggest surprises I didn't like the past season wasn't even nominated.
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised that so many Saturday Night Lives people got in here because there's been a lot of great guest actors that have popped up in variety of other comedy series. But
Christopher McDonald should have been nominated, if anything, not for supporting actor. He probably would have gotten for best guest actor in comedy.
But next up, we've got guest actress in a comedy series. And we've got Yvette Nicole Brown from A Black Lady Sketch Show, Issa Rae from A Black Lady Sketch Show, Jane Addams from Hacks, Maya Rudolph from Saturday Night Live, Kristen Rigg from Saturday Night Live, and Bernadette Peters from Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. A show that I wished got much more love than what it did.
My sister would agree with you on that.
Yeah, I agree.
But Steve, what are your thoughts on guest actors in a comedy series, and who would be your pick to win?
Let's see, who do I think would win? You know, Issa Rae has been nominated for Best Actress a bunch of times, and I don't think she won. So maybe they'll want to give it to her this year in this category. So maybe for now I'll go with her.
Chris, what are your thoughts on guest actress in a comedy series?
So this is tough with Hack. I haven't got much from Jane Anna yet because they're a few episodes away from finishing the season, but she's really good. I might go with Bernadette Peters because she's really good on doing Extraordinary Playlist, a show that should have got more love, especially how good the acting is in the last show. So I just pull out of nowhere going with Bernadette Peters.
Yeah, I'm going to go Bernadette Peters because I love Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. I mean, Maya Rudolph and Kristen Rigg getting nominated guest actress just speaks to me that they didn't get nominated for Saturday Night. They didn't win. They were actually a part of the Saturday Night Live cast, and it's like they pop back up. It's like, oh, we'll get them in here. Maybe they'll get an award. I'll get them finally get them in the Emmy Award. But I mean, I like them as well as just. It's always one of those ones when a former cast member of Saturday Night Live comes up as guest actors. Like, you got to have that thinking of, is that the reason they got in here? But next up, we've got directing for a comedy series, and we've got so we've got B positive for the pilot episode, Hacks for the pilot episode, Mum for the episode Scooby-Doo Checks and a Salisbury Steak.
Scooby-Doo Checking.
Ted Lasso's nominated for directing in the episode Biscuits, which was directed. Yes, I was just going to say that. I did not know he had any connection with Ted Lasso until now. MJ Delaney for directing the episode The Hope That Kills You. Declan Lowney for the episode Make Rebecca Great Again, all further than Ted Lasso. And then flight attendant is in case of an emergency. Chris, what are your thoughts on the directing category for
So
comedy?
this is something that I am not too familiar with. Hacks. I've seen the pilot. It's very well directed. I wish, because Cobra Kai technically comedy, that the last episode of season 3 of Cobra Kai got a nomination. But seeing with, I had to go through the list of what were nominees for comedy, but there were a few nominations were put in. So I did root for Hacks. There are a few other drivers flipping like Cobra Kai for a couple nomination or something else. They now consider a comedy, not a drama, Cobra Kai. And the last episode, the episode where you go to Japan, I would have put in nomination for. But yeah, I had to go with Hack for the one I have seen. I haven't seen Ted Lasso Flight Attendant yet. I'm not familiar with Repotted. Why?
This is one that I do think that Ted Lasso might cancel each other out, and which leaves it open for one of the other ones. I'm personally hoping for Be Positive because that first episode where it set up the premise of the show was amazing, and I really love that show. That should have got more love, but Stephen, what are your thoughts on directing for comedy series?
A lot, not this doesn't always happen, but sometimes when a high-profile director is nominated, sometimes they do win. So I'll go with Zach Braff.
That is a good way to think about it, actually. But next up, we've got writing for a comedy series, which I'll probably just blitz through because I don't.
Yeah, I questioning what they consider a comedy and what and not a comedy when I look at the nomination.
Well, I mean, I think it's one of those ones. I think, because I mean, Cobra Kai, I kind of do understand. I don't know. I've never seen Cobra Kai, so for all I know, it could be a great comedy.
It's funny. It's just like I thought did get nominated for the last episode of season 3 just for the one shot take moment.
But anyway, for writing for comedy, I'm just going to go over these. I'm not going to go to everyone for this. We've got the pilot for Girls 5 Ever, pilot for Hacks, play from Pen 15. We've got Make Rebecca Great Again from Ted Lasso, pilot for Ted Lasso, and in case of emergency for the flight attendant. I mean, I can't speak too much on writing because I don't. I get lost in shows. I don't pay attention to the way the script's going. As far as I'm concerned, any one of these could win. I'm going to move over to drama.
Yeah, to me, I would just say that not the right episode had to get nominated for.
I probably would have gone with the pilot for Ted Lasso because a lot of times the pilots win these things.
The second episode of Jeff Fitton May a Hack is much funnier than the pilot episode.
Yeah. But anyway, for outstanding drama series, we've got Bridgerton, Lovecraft County, Pose, The Boys, The Crown, The Handmaid's Tale, The Mandalorian, and This Is Us. This is a stellar bunch of nominations here for drama because any one of these could win. For me, I'm probably going to go for Bridgerton just because, one, it's a really new show and because The Crown, Handmaid's Tale have won before in the past. Pose might have done that as well, but this is one that I've heard a lot about Bridgerton. I should really get around to seeing it. It's on Netflix. And so from what I've heard, it's a really good show. So I think that's probably going to win because quite often with outstanding drama series, unless it's a really good season of a show that's won before, a brand new show does tend to pull off the upset quite often, especially if it's really good.
Not really.
I mean,
as
I said, sometimes it is possible. I'm not saying it happens all the times, but yeah. Anyway, so what would be your pick to win outstanding drama series out of this bunch?
Oh, which one of us?
Stephen.
Oh, sorry. You know, I always love to see, even though I haven't seen them, I always love seeing genre shows nominated. So I'm happy, even though I haven't seen them. I'm happy that The Boys and The Mandalorian were nominated. Um, I think I'm going to go. Even it's one. Yes, it's won before, but I think the Emmys. Well, maybe not as much as the SAG, but the Emmys do sometimes like to repeat themselves. So I think it's going to be The Crown.
Oh yeah, like as I said, I think it's one of those ones. Like, well, yes, I do agree that it's possible for a repeat one to do, but that I haven't seen The Crown, so I don't know what the last season was like and how good it was. But
I mean, it was the
yeah,
Princess Diana seasons. I think it was a very well-liked season.
I mean, we're going to get into that a lot more later. Well, actually, not too many. Chris, which of these drama series do you think will win Outstanding Drama Series?
So I'm behind a few of them, with The Crown, a few seasons behind. Handmaid's Tale, I haven't seen since first season. But I love This Is Us. I'm happy The Boys got nominated. I think that is like a surprise for me, but it's one of the shows that I love Amazon Prime. We will talk about when we get to the actor later. I think a huge number, but I kind of dig a Bridgerton. I haven't seen all of it, but everything I've seen I like, and it's a kind of surprising show that I like. Either that or I'm kind of rooting for The Boys. That's to say, hey, a comic book show can win it. I mean,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The Boys is a show I completely forgot is drama.
it's a comedy about that weird genre for that show.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of those ones where you're in that weird void, because that's probably where Cobra Kai might sit as well. Is that void between drama and comedy? It's like,
And I haven't seen Crack Country, and that kind of like after you to HBO for canceling it, but if we were nominated for a bunch of stuff.
But next up, we've got.
Speaking of shows, though, that sometimes wonder why they're in a particular category. I remember when Boston Legal was always nominated for drama, and I thought that show should always have been nominated for comedy because I think that was one of the funniest shows on TV.
Yeah, I mean, I think it mostly depends on what the networks want to put it for as well, because I think because there's definitely a lot of shows that are on that fine line between drama and comedy.
I think Desperate Housewives was another one of those shows.
Yeah, I agreed. But anyway, moving on to lead actor in a drama series. Is that moving? No, I don't think. Yeah, lead actor in a drama series. We have. I'm not going to pronounce his name correctly, but Reggie Jean Page from Bridgerton, Kang the Conqueror from Lovecraft County, Matthew Reese from Perry Mason, Billy Porter from Pose, Josh O'Connor from The Crown, and Sterling K. Brown from This Is Us. Yeah, so this is Stephen. What are your thoughts on the nominations as lead actor in a drama, and who will be your pick to win?
My pick to win would probably be, I mean, it could be because he's not going to be in season 2, apparently. It could be the Bridgerton guys. I can't pronounce that. But I wouldn't be surprised if, I think Billy Porter won before, right?
Yeah,
Billy Porter's won.
Wouldn't surprise me if he pulled a repeat win.
Chris, what are your thoughts on the nominees for lead actor, and who would be your pick to win?
So this is what I mentioned when I mentioned the drama thing. You do nominate The Boys for best drama. The actor that should be on this list is Anthony Starr as Homelander, because that is one more terrifying performance in any television show. I think he did a great job, but actually it was okay. Perry Mason wasn't the biggest fan of it. I haven't seen Pose. Bridgerton, I like the guy in Lodge from Suffolk, Johnson Major, and Pete Gray. I really for Stanley K. Brown because every season he just brings his all to This Is Us, and this season really gives Bella to stuff for his mom, and him going back to find out what happened to his mom and everything. There's a lot of great dramatic moments. Because there's a speech he gives during a meeting that really hot effective, and he always relegated this is us. Either get a Dr. Connor who also relegated in the Crown. Like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for me, I'm probably gonna like. Once again, I've heard a lot about Bridgerton, and I heard that Regine Page is a very big standout, so he's my pick to win. And to Chris's point about Anthony Starr from The Boys, while I'm required to love him by law because he's a great Kiwi actor, but but it's one of those ones with The Boys. It's one of those shows which has the Lord of the Rings problem with it being a lot of actors, but it's really hard to pinpoint who is the actual lead in that show. So I think if he was going to get nominated anywhere, he would probably have fallen into supporting for that reason because it is a big ensemble. Unless they go, oh yeah, he's definitely the lead. Then it's one of those ones that it's always hard to do when it comes to shows that are just a big ensemble of actors. But anyway, moving on to lead actress. We've got Uzo Aduba for In Treatment, Journey Smollett from Lovecraft County, MJ Rodriguez from Pose, Olivia Colman from The Crown, Emma Corrin for The Crown, and Elizabeth Moss for The Handmaid's Tale. Chris, who would be your pick to win this, and what are your thoughts on the nominations?
this is a good category. Have not seen Lovecraft Country yet on my list to watch. Same with Pose, but Elizabeth Moss, Emma Cullen, I think that's how you say name, and Olivia Colman all did really good performance in this show. I kind of had to go Olivia Colman. I have it like I have it cut up with The Crown yet, but bits and pieces I've seen when my mom have it on. Olivia Colman is amazing. Even Emma Cullen is really good. Is that Princess Diana that she played in The Crown?
I will look that up. I think it would be.
She really good. I maybe had to go Emma Dolan. She does an amazing job with Princess Diana, and she is a huge standout this season for the stuff I've seen. Like she is Princess Diana when you watch it. Like any win for the Crown this season has to be her. Or the other one where we will get to when we get to supporting.
Yeah, she did play Princess Diana. And actually, this is when I kind of think that Emma Corrin might pull out the win here because this was her first season as Princess Diana, and The Crown is much loved from the Emmys. So I do think that she will win here. But otherwise, I kind of think we might get a repeat winner in either Olivia Colman or Elizabeth Moss. But yeah, but yes, Stephen, did I go to you for this one?
No, not yet.
What are your thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah, the Emmys actually really love Uzo Aduba a lot, so it wouldn't surprise me if she won. I'll go with Emma Corrin with a potential spoiler, I think, because she made history, I believe, with MJ Rodriguez. So, yeah.
Yeah, but moving on, we've got supporting actor in a drama series. And we have got Michael K. Williams for the Lovecraft County, John Lithgow from Perry Mason, Tobias Menzies from The Crown, O.T. Fag Benny for The Handmaid's Tale, Max Minghella for The Handmaid's Tale, Bradley Whitford for The Handmaid's Tale, Giancarlo Esposito for The Mandalorian, and Chris Sullivan for This Is Us. For me, I've got a feeling it's just because I'm not too familiar with any of these shows. I've got a feeling it might go to one of the Handmaid's Tale people, but personally, I want to see Giancarlo Esposito win. What he did in The Mandalorian is just splendid. Stephen, what are your thoughts about the nominations for supporting actor and who would be a pick to win?
correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Giancarlo Esposito ever won for either Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul,
We
right?
should have won for Breaking Bad.
That's what.
I don't.
That's why I think it's probably going to be him.
Chris, what are your thoughts for the nominations for supporting actor?
I was a little surprised to see Giancarlo Esposito jump for best guest star to best supporting actor for Mandalorian, but he great. Kind of out of left field, but I'm really rooting for Chris Sullivan for This Is Us because I think, especially this season, he got a lot to do with Toby and did a lot of emotional growth with him. Whether you hate what he does or love him, like, there are a lot of great emotional moments. And John Lithgow easily is the best thing about Paymates, and like, so I either one of the three, and Everything Like My Country and Handmaid's Tale, all of them were Everything About Griffin and Handmaid's Tale become really good versions. Other people are really good. I think with Tobias Mendes does a great job. Should have got nominated for Outlander a couple years ago.
But yeah, to bounce off your point about Giancarlo being guest actor last time for the Mandalorian, I think it's because, and we'll get into this when we get into the guest actor for this category. But Giancarlo didn't have much of a presence in season 1 of the Mandalorian. It was at season 2 he really was in it a lot. So I think at that point he was more of a guest than he was actually more supporting. Which is why I think a lot of the Mandalorian does end up as guest because at the most they only end up in one episode. But I'll talk more about that when we get to guest, which is pretty soon.
Too sad not to see Bob Fine Brother not nominated for Handmaid's Tale. He also does a great job at Handmaid's Tale. Right? Jonathan, I forget the actor name. That Ray Fine Brother.
Oh, and actually speaking about I'm going to go back in my mind a little bit because I forgot to mention this. I'm surprised that Sebastian Stan or Anthony Mackie did not get a nomination for Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
But isn't that a limited series?
No. Falcon and the Winter Soldier is in the drama category. Alright, anyway, next up we've got supporting actress in drama. We've got Anjanu Ellis for Lovecraft County, Gillian Anderson for The Crown, Helena Bonham Carter for The Crown, Emerald Fennell for The Crown, Madeline Brewer for The Handmaid's Tale, Anne Dowd for The Handmaid's Tale, Yvonne Strahovski for The Handmaid's Tale, and Samira Riley for The Handmaid's Tale. So this is going to be interesting because either The Crown and The Handmaid's Tale cancel each other out, leading the Lovecraft County person to just take out the win here, or one of the other ones are going to be so good that they're just going to get all the nominations. But I'm going to go for the potential upset of the person for Lovecraft County winning. But Stephen, what are your thoughts on supporting actress?
I don't think this is going to be this is going to be a cancellation problem. I think from everything that I've heard, Gillian Anderson has this in the bag. Although I haven't seen The Handmaid's Tale, but I love Yvonne Strahovski, so I would love to see her win. But it's probably Gillian Anderson.
Yvonne Strahovski is Chuck, isn't it? If I'm right.
I've seen her in Chuck, and she was also in 24.
I mean, Chuck was the main one I was thinking of, but Chris, what are your thoughts on supporting actress?
Yeah, I mean, this is interesting. A lot Handmaid's Tale, they all great performance, and Dowd is scary on Handmaid's Tale. Like, and you all have to great. I really think Gillian Anderson, she does a phenomenal job playing Margaret Thatcher for the stuff I've seen, and just similar to the girl who played Princess Diana, she is Margaret Thatcher throughout the show. She does jaw-dropping performance on the show. So, yeah, there you go with Gillian Anderson. I think that was probably one of the best performances that stuff I've seen bits and pieces of for last year.
Moving along, we've got guest actor in a drama series, and this is where things get interesting because
Yeah, let's talk about it.
we're going to talk about this. We've got Courtney B. Vance for Lovecraft County, Charles Darts for The Crown, Don Cheadle for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Timothy Oliphant for The Mandalorian, and Carl Weathers for The Mandalorian. So this is one of those. Like, I know there's been a lot of people going, "Oh, Carl Lumbly should have been nominated."
Yes.
But this is kind of where I don't not quite know what their considerations for guest actor are, because Carl Lumbly was in multiple episodes. So I think it's one of those ones they may have seen it because it's 6 episodes. They may have seen him as more of a supporting actor than anything. And this is one that I think. When did the first episode of Falcon and the Soldier come out? Actually, because as I was doing the research, like the cutoff date for
April, I think.
the cutoff date for the cutoff date for the Emmys is March 31st. So
no, because the same week at Justice League, so it'd be the end of March, actually.
Yes, so the first episode of Falcon and the Soldier came out on March 19th. So at the cutoff date for the Emmys was March 31st. So it was only about 2.
May 31st is the cutoff date. I'm pretty sure.
I didn't say that.
Oh, I thought you said March. Sorry.
No. I realized. No, I said that at the start about it being cut-off date of May 31st. Yeah, okay, that changes everything. But anyway, look, I suspect Emmy's only watched the first episode of Falcon and the Soldier, and there's like, oh, Don Cheadle's on this. He's a big name. We'll nominate him. Personally, I don't think he's going to win. I kind of want Timothy Oliphant to win this because he was great in the episode of The Mandalorian he was in. But yeah, that's what I'm going to say on that. Stephen, what are your thoughts on guest actor in a drama series, and who do you have to win?
Well, I have heard a lot of people compare Timothy Oliphant's role in The Mandalorian to his role as Raylan Givens in Justified. So I would love to see Timothy Oliphant win, and I think he might be the front runner to win. And I mean, Charles Dance and Courtney B. Vance, I think, or even Carl Weathers for that matter, I think they have a chance as well. But I'm going to go with Timothy Oliphant.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring up this. I'm personally not surprised. Like, he only did the voice. It's one of those ones. Like, I would have loved to see Mark Hamill nominated, but I think Mark Hamill popping up in The Mandalorian is equal to Don Cheadle's nomination here. If Mark Hamill got nominated for a really quick second in The Mandalorian, I think that's going to be
more to do than Don Cheadle was given in Falcon with the Soldier.
I mean, I don't disagree, but it's still about the same amount of screen time. But Chris, what are your thoughts on nominations for guest actor, and who is your pick to win?
I mean, Don Cheadle more classy nomination I've ever seen in an Emmy nomination. We just mentioned Carl Lumbly should have been there. I agree. Charles Dance is really good in. Like, I haven't seen all the season before, but my mom have it on all the time. He's really good for the episode of Tom. I kind of going with Carl Weathers because I think he's really good on The Mandalorian. You have both seasons, you kind of stand out the show. I mean, Timothy Oliphant, he win, I will be upset. And I love Kirby B. Van, but he won before for the people for OJ. So I'd rather see someone who haven't win, like Timothy Oliphant or Carl Weathers.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be interesting because, like, essentially, this is Disney's one to lose because the only two that aren't on Disney is The Crown and Lovecraft Country. All the other three are Disney. But moving on to guest actress, and this is one that I think with Don Cheadle being nominated, I think Julia Louis-Dreyfus should be nominated, and even she had a little bit more to do than Don Cheadle. But nominated guest actress for a drama series, we've got Sophie Okonedo for Ratched, Claire Foy for The Crown, Alexis Bledel for The Handmaid's Tale, McKenna Grace for The Handmaid's Tale, and Felicia Rashad for This Is Us. Chris, what are your thoughts on guest actress in a drama series?
So I had to look this up, but did Felicia Rashad playing Johnny King Brown mother in the flashback? Or I think that's somebody else.
Possibly.
I'm looking it up on my phone because a performance that I remember from This Is Us that should have. Okay, how do you say it? Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, she played Carol Clark in This Is Us.
Let me make sure that's the one I think I'm sorry about this.
That's all good. While you're
Okay.
looking, yeah, go, Chris.
Oh wait, no, that's not who I was thinking of. But this is a good category. Ratchet, I haven't even watched that, but heard nothing but not good thing. Claire Foy, kind of like the John Shields thing, where she only in like a scene of the time, but to get nominated, that's a little weird. Felicia Rashad, it's great. This Is Us. I really would have rather had the one that played Johnny King Brown mother in the flashback because that's amazing acting. From one episode only, she was in, and it kind of a journey over the character. Yeah, she does a great job playing all different parts. But I had to go with Felicia Rashad. She's great at Best Mom. She stand out on This Is Us. This does get a lot more love for some of the other categories. But yeah, Felicia Rashad. I mean, it Claire Foy winner. Like first time I seen somebody win for only one scene in the show.
Well, I mean, I think this is the case. I think Claire Foy being nominated in here is probably more of a case that is because of her. She was because I think she was a main cast on earlier seasons.
She was in a little bit the younger version, but she only in one episode season 4.
Yes. But I mean, it's one of those ones. Because the category is guest actress, so and I think for guest actress, I think you have to be in there at a minimum of one episode. Personally, I think if you end up in like more, few more episodes, then I think you would get bumped up to supporting, which is why I don't think Cal Lumley would have been eligible for that reason because I think Cal Lumley was in about 2 or 3 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier and that was a 6-episode season. So I think, at that point,
only in one scene in one episode. That was like like the John Cheadle scene. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones like with guest actresses. It's always weird. Like, I've always found it a weird category for the Emmys to give awards for because a lot of the times the guest actress is only there for a small amount of the episode or season. Anyway, next up, I'm just going to breeze through this because it got directing for a drama series. We got Bridgerton, Pose. Bridgerton is Diamond of the First Water. Pose for the series finale. Fairy Tale for The Crown. The War for The Crown. Handmaid's Tale, The Wilderness, and Mandalorian episode The Marshal is nominated for Best Directing. I mean,
really?
Yeah, that is
that's the last episode of season 2. That's weird.
I mean, it's also Jon Favreau, so I mean, I think he probably might win this for that.
I also forgot to say, one before, Virginia Johnson should have got nominated for Best Guest Actress in a drama show for Mandalorian.
Yeah, I mean, but for writing for drum sets. We've got Sundown for Lovecraft County, series finale for Pose,
The Boys.
What I Know for The Boys for writing, War for the Crown, Home for The Handmaid's Tale, The Jedi for The Mandalorian, and The Rescue for The Mandalorian. I really like the writing for The Jedi, which I believe is Ahsoka's episode. So I want that to win. Honestly, it's writing. I personally don't care about this category. But whatever wins, I'm happy with,
Yeah,
regardless.
I'm rooting for The Boys. The Buddy on The Boys is very fun.
But next up, we've got limited or anthology series.
Let's talk about it.
Once it moves over to that, limited or anthology series, we've got I May Destroy You, Mayor of Easttown, The Queen's Gambit, The Underground Railroad, and WandaVision. And this is the first of many nominations for WandaVision. And this is tough because I loved WandaVision. So I love the fact that the Emmys loved it too. But sadly, I don't think it could win here. Because I've heard a lot of good things about the Mayor of Easttown and Queen's Gambit, and I kind of think the Queen's Gambit might win just because of everything I've heard about it. That's kind of what I'm lying with here, but I do want WandaVision to maybe pull off the upset. Stephen, what are your thoughts on best limited or anthology series?
Well, WandaVision actually could win because it got 23 nominations total.
Yeah.
So it's one of the most nominated shows, period. So I think it definitely has a shot. I'm all about Mayor of Easttown. I loved Mayor of Easttown, and that's the one that I hope it wins. And I think right now I think it could win. I think it will.
Chris, what are your thoughts on limited or anthology series?
This is a good category. Mayor of Easttown, I haven't seen all of it, but totally good. Queen Gambit is one of the shows you have not watched on Netflix. It's amazing. When we get to actress, I had a lot to say. Underground Railroad, I haven't seen all of it, but it is a tough show to watch. Amazing acting, really well directed, but really good show. One of it I love. I'm kind of rooting for WandaVision, but at the same time, with mine, it's the Underground Railroad or Queen Gambit. They're all great show. I haven't seen I made to show you, but on my list of shows to watch.
And moving on, next category we've got is Outstanding Television Movie. We've got Dolly Parton's Christmas on the Square, Oslo, Mahalia, Sylvie's Love, which I'm disappointed to find out it's not about Sylvie from Loki, and Uncle Frank. Chris, have you seen any of these television movies and any thoughts on what could win?
I had not seen any of them. No, Sylvie's Love is something me and my parents been wanting to watch, but we haven't had a chance to see it down at the same Uncle Frank. Also on my list to watch. I had nothing to say here because I only heard the dates and everything. Any of them. What?
Yeah, I've seen Dolly Parton's Christmas on the Square and Uncle Frank. That's about it. Dolly Parton's Christmas on the Square. I'm actually excited that it got nominated because I watched it last year at Christmas time and it surprised me by how interesting it was. And I was actually bored of Uncle Frank. So I'm going to go for Christmas on the Square. I have no idea what. I've not seen the other three. Stephen, any thoughts on any of these?
No, I have no idea.
But yeah, from here on in, for some reason, the Emmys decide to do all the acting awards put the TV movies and the limited series in the same acting categories, which I don't agree with personally because they separated it here. But
well, at least they didn't add. They didn't do what the Golden Globes does, which is for supporting actor and supporting actress. They lump all television together, including television regular series.
I don't have a problem with the Golden Globes doing that personally, just because of how many categories the Golden Globes have anyway. But anyway, for lead actor in a limited anthology series or movie, we've got Ewan McGregor from Helston, Lin-Manuel Miranda for Hamilton, Leslie Odom Jr. for Hamilton, Hugh Grant for The Undoing, and Paul Bettany for WandaVision. Um, Hamilton. This is the reason I actually had to look up the on what period the eligibility is for the Emmys, because I thought the Emmy Hamilton should have been nominated last year's Emmys, if anything, but apparently the eligibility allowed for this series. But look, I don't have a problem with being nominated for acting, because even though it is a filmed show that did come out in 2016 when it was first performed, the actual television movie was done in this period. I don't have a problem with being nominated. I kind of hope they don't win though, because I want Paul Bettany to win, and I haven't seen what Hugh Grant and Ewan McGregor were nominated for, so I don't know about that. But I'm gonna go Paul Bettany. Stephen, what are your thoughts on lead actor in limited anthology series or movie?
Well, I've heard a lot of great things about The Undoing, so Hugh Grant win wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I'm going to go with Paul Bettany. I think, Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen showed such great comedic chops on that show, and playing, very classical sitcom type characters. So I thought they were both great. So I'm going to go with Paul Bettany for this.
Yeah. Before I go to you, Chris, I'm going to bring up a comment from Brian. I suspect Falcon and the Winter Soldier would have been in the drama category, because that's what the guest actor one was nominated for. So I think, if anything, it would have been nominated in drama, and drama was already stacked. So I'm not too surprised that Falcon and the Winter Soldier got missed out for drama. But Chris, what are your thoughts on lead actor in limited or anthology series?
So here's the thing. I love Hamilton. I do. It shouldn't got that many nominations. I think if Paul Bettany to lose, Hugh Grant was good in Undoing. I think you mentioned a little bit later about a feeling I had about Undoing that was no, but either Paul Bettany, I had to pick between the two Hamilton people. I would go with Leslie Odom Jr. I think he pulled the more emotional performance ever. So either Paul Bettany or Leslie Odom Jr. for me for Hamilton between the two. Right.
But next up, we've got lead actress. And we've got Cynthia Erivo for Genius Aretha, Michaela Cole for I May Destroy You, Kate Winslet for Mayor of Easttown, Anya Taylor-Joy from The Queen's Gambit, and Elizabeth Olsen for WandaVision. Talk about stacked categories. Chris, what are your thoughts on lead actress?
So the one I mentioned just before, Nicole Kidman should have been in here for Undoing. She also really good in Undoing. But I think it between Elizabeth Olsen and Kate Winslet or Anya Taylor-Joy, they all give phenomenal performance. Elizabeth Olsen and I Cannot Feel You moment, I think the clip they wish at the Emmy. And Anya Taylor-Joy is astonishing in the Queen Gambit. Same with Kate Winslet. This is a tough category. But any other year, Cynthia Erivo could win. Also, Cynthia Erivo really good well, but this is between those three. I really feel Elizabeth Olsen, but I also really feel Anya Taylor-Joy. Back of her between two great performers, a lot of great clips to use, especially with Elizabeth Olsen with I Cannot Feel You when she sees Vision Dead Body and this year play.
Yeah, this is definitely tough. I want Elizabeth Olsen to win this, but I do. My heart is telling me that it's probably not going to be her. It's probably going to be either Anya Taylor-Joy or Kate Winslet. I've not seen those shows. I'm actually going to watch them because of the fact they got a lot of love at the Emmys. Because I'm kind of interested about them. Stephen, what are your thoughts on lead actress in a limited series?
I love Elizabeth Olsen, but it's definitely got to be Kate Winslet. And Mayor of Easttown takes place and actually was shot pretty close to where I live. So I also have that rooting interest for that as well.
I think Paul Bettany would be the consolation prize for Elizabeth Olsen not winning for WandaVision. Like, one of them will win between the two of them.
Yeah. Next up, we've got supporting actor for limited. We've got Daveed Diggs for Hamilton, Jonathan Groff for Hamilton, Anthony Ramos for Hamilton, Papa Isidou for I May Destroy You. I apologise for the pronunciation. Even Peters not for WandaVision, Mayor of Easttown, and Thomas Brodie Sangster for The Queen's Gambit. This is another interesting one. I mean, if a person for Hamilton had to win, I kind of wanted to be Daveed Diggs, but once again, I'm not too familiar with the other ones. But I'm going to say maybe Evan Peters, because people may see his name and think it's WandaVision and take it anyway. But Stephen, what are your thoughts on supporting actor?
Evan Peters is great in Mayor of Easttown, so I was happy that he was nominated, and I'm going to go with him.
Chris, what do you?
No, sorry. I love this category. I didn't call it out. I love Anthony Wallman. I would have took him out and put Chris Jackson in for Hamilton. I think that's a really big snub because Chris Jackson performed, especially one last time, one of the most emotional moment in the show. All of them great. I'm rooting for Daveed Diggs on Jonathan Groff and Peter. I still heard that Chris Jackson wasn't nominated.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those ones. It's looking like that the people from Hamilton that they've put in, with the exception of the next category, are all the really well-known names that you may know, not so much for Hamilton, for other things. Because, like, I think if people see Jonathan Groff's name, I think aside from Hamilton, they go straight to either Glee or Frozen. And Anthony Ramos, they may think of it in the Heights. So, I mean, that could be the case. I don't think it is, but yeah. But next up, we've got supporting actress, and from Hamilton, we've got Renee Elise Goldsberry and Philippa Sue, Julianne Nicholson for Mayor of Easttown, Jean Smart for Mayor of Easttown, Moses Ingram for The Queen's Gambit, and Catherine Hahn for WandaVision. I want Catherine Hahn to win this. She's great. Especially when she does its act for all along. But actually, I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to say Catherine Hahn wins. Stephen, what are your thoughts on supporting actress?
I do love Catherine Hahn, but Juliana Nicholson is devastatingly good in Mayor of Easttown in that last episode, especially. So yeah, I'm going with Juliana Nicholson.
And Chris, what are your thoughts on supporting actress?
I love Catherine Hahn. I love Renee really good play. Anybody from Hamilton, I think, could win it. Renee, like her. Angelica is amazing. I satisfied one of the most stunning moments in when the film version. Same with Philippa Sue. Very amazing. That would be a great James Martin wins for Best Actress in a Comedy. So, at least she got nominated for Mayor of Easttown. Queen Gambit great, Nicholson. Either Renee Goldsberry or Catherine Hahn for me. It's two great performers. A consolation prize for Philippa Sue, who does a great job Hamilton. Like, you got a stronger performance with Renee from Hamilton.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely shows that, especially this year, it definitely shows how many actresses have done so good in so many different mediums of thing. Because you got Keita Thompson in 2 categories, you got 89 in 2 categories, you got Jean Smart in 2 categories, which arguably are 2 different shows, possibly as well.
Yeah, I've always been a huge fan of Jean Smart because 24 is my favorite TV show of all time, and she was great on 24.
She great. Her character was just annoying. I love her more as acting.
But just like what I've done for the other ones, I'm going to breeze through directing and writing. Directing, we have, if once it actually changes. Directing for limited anthology series or movie, we've got Hamilton, I May Destroy You for the episode Ego Death, and eyes. I don't know if I've said too much. The Mayor's Easttown, Queen's Gambit, the Underground Railroad, and WandaVision. With what's here, it's tough, but this is one that I actually wouldn't hate if Hamilton actually won because the directing
Scott Frank and Barry Jenkins not in the same category.
Yeah,
and you've got
I do have to give a shout out to Underground Railroad. The actress for Underground Railroad was no, but it was tough to get it right anyway.
Yeah, outstanding writing for limited or anthology series. We got I May Destroy You for the I May Destroy You. We have Easttown.
Didn't even say what episode it is.
Yes, it's interesting. That,
he probably directed all the episodes, so that's
Yeah.
why.
They probably. This is a case of they wrote.
They were Queen Gambit. Like, what episode did they put in for Queen Gambit?
And we've got 3 WandaVisions here. We've got the all-new Halloween Spooktacular, filmed for a live studio audience, and previously on, which I think is the Monica episode.
The episode when they went to Wanda Path wasn't nominated that weird. That's probably a written episode when it's going to her, like, what great outlaw being perseverance line that moment. Like,
I mean, personally, I would have loved all the WandaVision episodes to be nominated, but I think for the 3 episodes that got nominated for writing, I think those are the 3 that I probably would have nominated myself. I don't know how much.
I
think WandaVision deserves directing, and I would go with Mayor of Easttown for writing.
Yeah.
To me, like, the episode of WandaVision was nominated was the second to last episode when it goes to Wanda Path, and that line, and what great outlaw being persevering, and I cannot feel you. That 2 got punchline alone, like, it's some of the best writing moments of WandaVision.
But yeah, next up, I don't know how much of reality or competition program you.
Yeah, I don't watch any of that.
So I'm going to breeze through this.
A catfish. I don't watch any of them.
So we've got Nicole Byer for Nailed It, the Queer Eye guys for Queer Eye, RuPaul for RuPaul's Drag Race, the Shark Tank peoples, and Top Chef peoples. This is
my niece used to watch Nailed It.
Yeah, I love Nailed It. And I think Nicole Byer should win. I think she might be nominated maybe once before. I don't know. But I think personally it's between Nicole Byer and RuPaul because I think they're probably the 2 popular.
RuPaul always wins these things, right?
Most likely when Ryan Seacrest is not nominated. Which in this case it is, but I think if anyone can upset RuPaul this time, it's Nicole Byer, if anything. Next up, we've got Structured Reality Program. Antiques Roadshow is an interesting one popping up here. Property Brothers, Queer Eye 5, Running Wild, and Shark Tank. Unstructured Reality Program, we've got the Disney Becoming, Below Deck, Indian Matchmaking, RuPaul Drag Race Untucked, and Selling Sunset. Competition program.
What's the difference between structured and unstructured?
Competition program got Nailed It, RuPaul, Amazing Race, The Voice, Top Chef. I think Amazing Race
is something that RuPaul usually wins. Amazing Race used to win it a long time ago, but now it's
The Voice. That's the only show I've seen bits and pieces.
A category that I think is red is directing for reality program. Queer Eye 5, RuPaul, Amazing Race, Voice, Top Chef. Outstanding short form comedy drama or variety series. We've got Carpool Karaoke, the series. There's a series of that. Late Night of Seth Meyers Corrections. Reno 911. Tuning Out the News. And The Randy Rabo Show. Have any of you seen any of these?
No. I didn't even know Reno 911 was still going on.
Yeah. This is short form anyway.
Yeah. I thought Reno 911 ended a long time ago. Didn't even know it was so long.
I think it got a resurgence somewhere. outstanding actor in a short form.
Popular karaoke is funny. Maybe if anything, that.
I do want to see some of these short form stuff because even stuff like on YouTube could be technically nominated for short form stuff.
What the hell was Die Hard?
It's a funnier Die.
The Kevin Hart version of Die Hard was it on that app that didn't last long.
But anyway, we've got Brendan Scannell for Bonding, John Travolta and Kevin Hart for Die Hard, JB Smoove and John Lutz for the Mapleworth Murders. Actress in a short form, we've got Natalie Nell for Die Hard, Kiki Palmer for Kiki Palmer's Turned Up for the Taylors, Paula Powell for Mapleworth Murders, and Kerry Kenny Silver for Reno 911.
John Travolta probably is happy that he's not nominated for Bradley, that he got actually unnominated.
Short form non-fiction reality series. I just had to see that because Pose popped up randomly. Got Pandemic Video Diaries, Inside Pixar, Pose, Top Chef Last Chance.
I know someone who's actually, if Inside Pixar is what I think it is, I think I might know someone who was a part of that.
Yeah. It is an uncomfortable conversation with a black man. Next up, we've got Variety Talk Series. Conan, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, Daily Show, and Late Night with Stephen Colbert. What do you think will win Variety Talk Series, Stephen?
See, I think John Oliver usually wins. I wouldn't be surprised if they went with Conan. But Jimmy Kimmel's really the only one that I watch, and I don't even watch him that much anymore. I've kind of been out of watching late night, even though I'm not against late night. I just haven't watched it much in a long time. But I'm a Jimmy Kimmel fan. But I think it's good. But I think it's either going to be John Oliver or Conan.
Chris, what are your thoughts on Variety Talk Series?
I rarely watch any Variety Talk Series besides my dad watched the Colbert, probably the one that made me laugh the most on the stuff I watch. So, yeah, either Colbert or Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah, I mean...
Conan for the last episode. The last episode, Conan was really funny.
Yeah, I think from what I understand, Conan's retired from talk show, hasn't he? So I think Conan might win because this is last chance he's got at winning.
Yeah.
But
he's got an HBO Max thing going on now too, though.
Well, I mean, it's just, but I mean, depends on what his HBO Max thing. If it's going to be a talk show or something else entirely. But anyway, next up we've got Variety Sketch Series. We've got a Black Lady sketch show with Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live's winning this, right?
Yeah, it's not even a joke for the nomination because the only two on them.
I mean, this is one that I don't know much about the Black Lady sketch show, but I mean if they did, they could potentially upset it. I mean, Variety Special, we've got
Yeah, in a few minutes.
But for live Variety Special, we've got Celebrating America, Election Night 2020, 63 Grammy Awards, the Oscars, Pepsi halftime show for Super Bowl. Look, I love the Oscars. I don't think they win this one because the last Oscars one, I mean, while they did well with what they were dealt with, I don't think it was the best Oscars that they do. But looking at the competition, I think there's still a chance they could win this. Stephen, any thoughts on live Variety Special?
I mean, I want the Oscar. I would want the Oscars to win because I always love watching the Oscars, and I thought the Oscars were great this year as well. Oh, well, except for the whole fiasco. You know what? Scratch that. I completely forgot that this was the year that they screwed everything up with listing Best Picture, not having Best Picture be last, and they had Best Actor as last, and because they thought Chadwick Boseman was going to win, when it ended up being Anthony Hopkins, who wasn't even there. So you know what?
That's a long conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
I'm
had
gonna go with
no saying
election
that
night.
the halftime show. I barely paid attention to the Oscars was great up until the ending, but then again, there were some weird moments they added in, especially with the Glenn Close thing. But maybe the Grammy of the election stuff. I guess the conservation fight for the Oscar, we just got the first half out of it. The speeches were great. Like everything up until the speeches for the people presenting were great. Just the ending sucked. The Oscar cancellation is because of nothing else was the
But anyway, next up we've got pre-recorded variety special, which may
I don't know what celebrating America is. I've never heard of that.
so for pre-recorded variety, we've got 8:46, which it looks like is a David Chappelle thing. The Restoring, Bo Burnham Inside, Dave Burns Utopia, Friends Reunion, and Hamilton. Okay, this is kind of where I think that Hamilton being nominated in the actor. This is another one similar to Saturday Night Live where Hamilton wasn't nominated for TV movie, but the actors were. I think Hamilton might win this. But personally, I want the Friends reunion to win because I think the Friends
boo.
reunion was good. Hey, Friends is good. Stephen, what are your thoughts for our pre-recorded variety special?
I heard a lot of love for David Byrne's Utopia, which ended up in a lot of movie critics' top 10 list for last year. So a win by that would not surprise me. Also, everybody loves The West Wing, so I wouldn't be surprised for that. What were the other? What was
Boo.
Hamilton? Maybe I'm going to go with The West Wing.
I think. I mean, I think Hamilton might win. I do think. Did the French Prince of Bel Air reunion touches in account for this?
Which reunion?
The French Prince of Bel Air.
I mean, it would have been eligible. I think.
I kind of like between that friend. I thought French Prince were more intimate, and I would put that in as a friend. Between Hamilton and Western for me because I'll put that in. That was good too. Go to the feet. Friends, I got bored. I was more impressed by French Prince reunion.
But yeah, moving on. But once again, we're going to blitz through directings and writings. Directing for a variety series got Last Week Night from Oliver, Late Night with Seth Meyers, Real Time Bulmar, Saturday Night Live, and Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Directing for variety, we got the 8:46, Restoring Bo Burnham Inside, Utopia, and Friends Reunion.
I think Spike Lee will win that one.
Writing for a variety series, we've got Black Ladies Sketch Show, Last Week Tonight, Saturday Night Live, The Amber Ruffin Show, Late Night, Stephen Colbert. And variety show writing, we've got 8:46, Inside, John Lewis, Election Night, Fingers Pulse. Moving on to Outstanding Animated Program. Got Big Mouth, Bob's Burgers, Primal, South Park, The Pandemic Special. They specifically specified that one, and The Simpsons.
I'm going to just say, I'm not sure if we're eligible. I'm surprised Harley Quinn is not on here. Like, they would nominated all the superhero stuff.
When did season 3?
You mean season 2? Was it last year?
When was the last episode of season 2? Because if that was before June the 1st, then that is why it's not here.
Like, if they just showed love for superheroes,
but yeah,
I'm looking at it right now. Okay. So now, season 1 was beginning of 2019, and season 2 was in the middle of 2020, all the way to like.
But yeah, I mean, the one that
April 2020 to June 26, 2020.
Yeah, the one that kind of surprised me wasn't here just because it's another big one is Family Guy.
Family Guy's still on.
Yeah, I mean, love it or hate it, Family. I mean, I like Family Guy's like Family Guy and American Dad are probably two big ones that just didn't pop up here. I mean,
I don't get how the Simpsons did get nominated. It had not been good in years.
I loved the last season of Simpsons.
There was one good episode I liked, and the retro.
I mean, it's one of those ones. Just with what it tackled, I think South Park might win this, but yeah.
I would say that the episode they sent for the Simpsons was the one with dealing with message from Pal and the diary. That's the right episode to stand for the Emmy for the Simpsons.
So we've got short form animated program next. Got Love, Death, and Robots, The Force Awakens from its nap, Once Upon a Snowman,
Oh God,
and Robot Chicken, which is specifically end game episode.
Let's just give it to Love, Death, and Robot Chicken. Once Upon a Snowman, no.
And it's the Love, Death, and Robots episode Ice, which I mean, this is one that I mean, I kind of don't want to see Simpsons win this one because The Force Awakens from its snap is fine. If they're going for a Simpsons short, and this one will probably be nominated next year, is the Loki one. I actually really enjoyed that one.
Just totally thing, just like why.
And I think that's the end of all the interesting categories anyway.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly art directors, cinematographers.
I'm interested to see what got visual effects.
Special visual effects in a season or a movie.
I think it like single episode. I'm interested to see the boy got nomination for. Oh yeah.
It did. Yeah, so visual effects, we've got Lovecraft County, The Boys, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, The Mandalorian, and WandaVision. This is tough.
I want to see the boys win for some of the most unusual visual effects on the show. That's very funny and weird.
I mean, this is one that could go either way because I think this could easily be either The Boys or WandaVision. Because I think both the visual effects they used in their
The Mandalorian seemed to have some good visual effects.
Yeah, I mean it's right.
Okay, you go for it.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those ones like it's really tough because I think any one of these five can win. And then we've got visual effects for a single episode.
I mean, that why the brand to definitely one of the bizarre visual effect moment in the movie.
And then for a single episode of visual effects, we've got Star Trek Discovery for the episode Sukao.
By the way, the Umbrella Academy deserve more love than the one nomination. Like,
I didn't like the Umbrella Academy. I'm sorry. The episode The Gold Stick, The Crown. I don't know what the visual effects could be. The Nevers, which is another one which I've actually heard a lot about, which didn't actually pop up a lot in this. The Umbrella Academy for the episode 743, and then
the first episode, second. I had to remember what episode that is.
And then we've got Vikings, which is the episode The Signal.
Every time anybody with Umbrella Academy, you gave up after first season, second season, a lot better. Costume. I'm interested to see if Mandalorian got costume and hairstyling.
Okay, here's costume design and supervision is in very different ones. And I might go, I think I know which one I'm going to go to next. So for contemporary costumes, we've got Blackish, Euphoria, Hacks, I May Destroy You, Mayor of Easttown, Pose, and The Politician. Period costumes, we've got Bridgerton, Holston, Ratched, The Crown, and The Queen's Gambit. Outstanding fantasy sci-fi, you got Lovecraft County, Handmaid's Tale, The Mandalorian, Umbrella Academy, and WandaVision. And that's not a.
Oh god, that would be a little disturbing. And Farrell got nominated.
That's where I was going.
Director
Character,
voiceover performance in the
that's
narrator.
where that's what I was actually. That was where I was going. For voiceover performance, we've got Jessica Walter for Archer, Maya Rudolph for Big Mouth, Stacey Abrams for Blackish, Julie Andrews for Bridgerton, Titus Burgess for Central Park, Stanley Tucci for Central Park, and Seth MacFarlane for Family Guy.
I remember what the animated show was. That's about The Invincible on Amazon
Oh
Prime.
yeah.
I surprised J.K. Simmons not, and it wasn't even nominated for like best animated program.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
actually,
J.K. Simmons, like last episode alone with his speech, is one of the moments you think of that show.
yeah. I mean, and once again, I'm actually like it's a verse here that I'm surprised there's no Simpsons voice actors popping up here. But look, I hate to be that guy, but I've got a feeling that unfortunately Jessica Walter might end up winning it posthumously for Archer, because, and not that I'm saying they're really they do that all the time, but it's just one of those ones that I think could be possible. And no one interesting in narrator actually.
Stanley K. Brown, but I didn't even know.
And I don't think there's any other interesting categories here.
Yeah, I am shocked by
Title
The
sequence.
Invincible not being
I mean,
nominated for that animation.
There was a lot of
New title
categories.
design.
Yeah, there's a lot of categories here. I don't think that you'll get awarded on the night.
No,
for-
because the night before there's the I forget what they're
Now I
called.
remember,
Yeah,
but
usually I thought they're a week before. For this year, they're the night before.
so going back to best actor in a limited TV or movie, Ethan Hawke should have been nominated for the Good Lord Board over any of the Hamilton people. He gave a hell of a performance.
yeah, but main title design we've got Between the World and Me, Lovecraft County, Raised by Wolves, which is really hard to read. The Good Lord Bird, Queen's Gambit, and WandaVision.
You had not seen the Good Lord Board, watch it for Ethan Hawke's performance.
Yeah, at Gold Derby, they were talking about how he was before the nominations. He was the front runner to win, and he's not even nominated.
He's so good in that show. I was shocked.
Oh, there was a. And this is the last one I'm going to go through because it's the last one that I find could be really interesting. So I've got out original dramatic score. Fargo,
Fargo only nominated.
Fargo, Osley, Queen's Gambit, Underground Railroad, and WandaVision. And that's the music competition for limited anthology movie or special. For the series, we've got Bridgerton, Lovecraft County, The Crown, Handmaid's Tale, Mandalorian, and This Is Us. Music for documentary, series, or special. We've got Allen versus Pharaoh, American Master, David Attenborough, The Social Dilemma, Tulsa Burning.
Alan Richard Ferry, one interesting documentary series.
Music direction, whatever that actually means. The Billie Eilish thing, Bo Burnham's Inside Celebrating America, Utopia, and Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Original main title theme music, Allen versus Pharaoh, Bridgerton, Ted Lasso, The Flight Attendant.
So for this category, they're mixing everything: drama, comedy, limited series.
Yeah, it's main title theme. I mean, this is one I kind of wish that they would specify which WandaVision title theme song they're going for, because they had a different one every episode. Outstanding original music and lyrics. Bo Burnham Inside, song title comedy. The soundtrack of our lives, whatever the hell that is.
Are you interested to know what the Boys song is?
The
It's on
titles. The Boys, the big wide song title Never Truly Vanish. Queen's Gambit. I Can't Remember Love. Which now this has got to be
He's
egged
got
all
to be
along.
Yes!
Yeah. I mean, I love the song. I would be surprised if they go with something completely different for the other
It might when I want it to win.
Oh, I mean, if Agatha All Along does not win song, I'm surprised.
If
But
they don't have like Captain Hahn going up, maybe that's a.
I mean, it's going to.
one.
I mean, it's going to depend on which song that gets nominated. Zoe's was Crimson Love from the Extraordinary Birthday one.
Any other song for Joey 101 would it? I mean, Joey Extraordinary Payload would be a great win.
Yeah. Music's Supervision. We've got Bridgerton, Halston, I May Destroy You, Lovecraft County, Queen's Gambit, and that's back there. Even though I said that's the last one I'm going to go for, but because I don't see anything else interesting.
I had to see what Invisible eligible for Emmy nomination because that was one.
What category?
The animated one, Invisible, the show with J.K. Simmons and Amazon Prime.
I mean, we've already gone through the animated ones.
Yeah.
So.
I was just shocked because like they would honorary superhero show that was.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, I've not seen it, but
Yeah.
I'm surprised that didn't come up. But yeah,
and J.K. Simmons, like you want to talk about voice actor, watch his last scene in Invisible when he gave me the speech. It's pretty creepy moment.
But yeah, there really isn't anything else. But because it took us actually a little bit quicker to go through the Globes, partly because we go back to the news, and so also this week did get a few trailers. I thought I'd do the Emmys first because I did not know how long it was going to take. We've got about 20 minutes left of the show, so we've got a little bit of time to talk about. But last week we got some trailers released. We got the trailer for What If. We got the trailer for the Pixar's new movie Turning Red, and we got the trailer for Deadpool Reacts to Free Guy, which is but technically a Free Guy trailer. Steven, did you watch any of those trailers?
Yeah, I saw the What If trailer, and I'm looking forward to that, especially if it's connected to the MCU, especially after how Loki ended.
Yeah,
and Chris, what are your thoughts on the trailers?
I haven't seen Turning Red yet. I did watch it after this, but I thought the Deadpool scene was very funny. Him back and forth with Kirk cracked me up on. Kirk lied about how to get to MCU. I thought was funny moment at that trailer. And yeah, like that was better. Like how they introduced things, my man of JBMC, I thought were pretty brilliant marketing. And what the trailer looked good. I'm not the always biggest fan of animated stuff, but I like Bad Batch at Disney Plus. So if it like Bad Batch at continuing, just a good trend of animated on Disney Plus thing, I'd be happy. I'm liking Marvel so far this year. I haven't been really disappointed by much, and if the rumor any true, we might get another Marvel trailer this coming week from stuff I've been hearing.
But yeah, it's definitely one of those ones that I like the What If trailer. That looks just a lot of fun. Deadpool and Cork reacting to Free Guy. I mean, I'm surprised it didn't come out if we didn't get one earlier.
I kind of want to see his reaction to Krell's trailer now after the Emmy. Where the fuck is the
Oh, I'm pretty sure that doesn't exist. But yeah, it was just a lot of fun seeing a first interaction between Deadpool and an MCU character, and it's one that I now want a Korg and Deadpool TV series.
I want Deadpool reacting to any movie trailer, anything. Because that's funny. What my manager shit on stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that that when Deadpool comes back into the MCU, it's just going to be Deadpool sitting down reacting to all the moments of the MCU. But anyway, And other news that we did get, Matt Shackman from WandaVision is going to be helming the next Star Trek movie. Ian McShane is joining John Wick 4. Antonio Banderas is joining Indiana Jones 5. The Last of Us TV show adds Jeffrey Pierce, Murray Bartlett, and Con O'Neill to the cast. And Paramount Plus has ordered a Grease prequel TV series.
Oh, God.
I mean, Antonio Banderas joining the cast of Indiana Jones 5 is just... I can't wait to see what role he's going to get in that, because it's interesting. John Wick 4 has been adding so much big names. It's going to be really interesting to see what's going to be it's going to be like. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know any of those names to Last of Us personally, but yeah. Chris, what are your thoughts on that bunch of news?
Indiana Jones, I am interested in. I love Antonio Banderas. Like, it shaped up to be an interesting movie, and I like Jane Mango. I watched directors are interested in what he does with Indiana Jones. Star Trek, I when it come out, it happened because at this point they've been delaying this for so long with so many people leaving this, becoming like a Flash situation. Last of Us, love the game. One of the people is a voice actor for the video game that voiced Tommy, Joe's brother, but he's playing different characters, so I'm interested to see how he is on this show. And what was the other news? Like, I mean,
it's Matt Shackman is going to have the next Star Trek movie.
Yeah, I mean, I love WandaVision, but we had so many people leave Star Trek. Like, when it's on production, I believe it at this point.
Yeah. Stephen, what are your thoughts on that little bit of news that we had last week?
I mean, yeah, it's hard to get excited about any Star Trek news because of how many times, we've had false starts to it, and then projects have gotten scrapped. Antonio Banderas being Indiana Jones 5 is cool. I like Antonio Banderas, sure. Although, didn't care for his role in Hitman's Bodyguard. That was unfortunately a big disappointment because I actually really enjoyed the first one.
Like other movies so far this year so far.
But yeah, I mean, but that does bring us to the end of Late Night today. Stephen, where can people find you online?
You can find me on Letterboxd. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter. I actually just joined. I don't have any videos up, but I actually just joined TikTok. That's because I plan on using it for marketing purposes. I have no interest in TikTok beyond that. But yep, that's it.
Chris, where can people find you online?
Facebook, YouTube, I got a couple matches coming up. Yeah, keep me pushed back, but you find me anywhere. I got TMG coming up. I got Format me something big coming up at Format. I can't talk about until the video get released, but yeah, everything else that's pretty much usual.
And you can find me on Take 3 hosting Rankum and Late Night. Next week's Rankum is going to be top 12 romantic comedies of the 2010s. Nick, I haven't decided on a topic for Late Night for next week yet. I'll probably make an announcement for the next couple of days on what I decide I'm going to go with. And you can find me over on Formula. I host Formula Random and Formula Classic. But until next time, until next time,
just give me all the bacon and eggs you have.